You know I try to be a good man. I always give it my best. But truth be told, someday I want to go to the wild, wild west.
And now, live from our Smokehouse studio, it's time for Real Estate Jerky. All your real estate questions answered by our provocatively lean expert hosts. Edward Ed Parcaut, MBA, veteran, and president of Lending for Living. We'll give you something to chew on. Real Estate Jerky is on now.
Thanks for joining us here on Real Estate Jerky. I'm your host, Ed Parcaut, president of Lending for Living, along with Marlene Chaplin, my trusty sidekick and co-host. We are on the road, keeping things real and relevant throughout Stanislaus, San Joaquin, Merced counties, and into the foothills. You know, our studio's anywhere we have a solid Wi-Fi connection, and our fabulous engineer, Mike Murray, and the incredible radio signal of iHeartMedia and this station, KFIV. We always bring you something to chew on here at Real Estate Jerky. And the topic of the day is always around real estate, investing in our communities, and whatever extends on that, or gets in the way of it, I guess you should say. And, you know, let's get moving on this. If you have questions, you can call us at 209-404-1915 or email us at radio@realestatejerky. How you doing today, Marlene? I'm not going to say happy Valentine's Day because, well,
you're not my Valentine, not it. That's Marcia's job. And so, and neither of us could use another helping of chocolate. Well, actually, you're doing really good.
I was, but lately,
you are
under the weather.
But you're doing really good. You're doing really good. In fact, I was like, not that I mean, you're a big guy, but you're slimmed way down. Hey, so this weekend, is it flowers, dinner? What are you doing?
It's a secret.
Oh, I like it.
The show airs at 12 to 1.
Yeah, it does.
On Saturdays and 10 to 11 or 10 to something on Sundays.
Oh, right? So it's a 2-day
but it's super
event.
You know, it's Super Bowl this weekend, so we're gonna, you know, what are you doing this weekend?
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
I actually I've got my daughter-in-law and grandchildren from Clovis are coming up because they have a soccer at the fabulous soccer field.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of soccer, you were talking about, was that Sierra or was that Rochelle that you were talking about that did this the butterfly thing?
That was Sydney.
Oh, it was Sydney.
Yeah. I mean, Sydney was amazing. Out of all the kids, Blake was an amazing soccer player, like attack things, right? The problem is he had no they always said he didn't care about his safety when the ball was in play. He just went for it, right? Sydney was the more skilled player. Rochelle always wanted to be that, but that would mean you have to put in practice. And, you know,
well,
he was good in the beginning, but then as you get older, you're supposed to keep practicing and doing more ball control and stuff. And they just didn't want to do that.
Yes. When somebody talks about what they want to do or their big dream, I always think, we'll see how much you're willing to sacrifice. But so that's my weekend. I
took you away from Valentine's Day. I know you had this whole thing about Valentine's Day.
I did. I'm Valentining because I don't, Valentine's used to be a big deal in our household, but it's not so much, but I do with the grandkids. And so that's made it fun. I'm having new Valentines, but the thing that cracks me up about Valentine's is this year, especially, is the price of things. Because like I said, I've got 10 grandkids and I get a little something for them all. I was stunned. Flowers. I even was looking, not that I get any of them that, I just was noticing. And holy crap, Ed.
Can you say that on the air?
Maybe. I hope so. I was stunned. I was stunned how much even the Costco DIY flowers bunches are up.
Everything's up. Everything.
Yeah, way up. I mean, like way up. $20 Costco. I mean, last time I bought a bunch of flowers there, that I think I paid $10. Right. And depending on which bunch you look at, you're paying $15, $16, $20. I mean, that's a screaming deal, but still it's way up.
Remember those little chalk hearts that you'd get? Those little hearts that are like, I forget what they're called, but they taste like chalk, right? They break in those not hard candy, but the little boxes.
Oh, the message ones, the ones that have the little messages on them. They taste like chalk. I like those.
To keep them under the 99 cents, they had to only put 6 in it now. I'm kidding.
I was like, wait, So be mine. You're gonna get 6 be mines, or
It's
Hey, you're
extra
listening-
for all the other because they can't afford it. Now it's no longer 99 cents. It's $1.89.
Yeah, you're getting 6 in there. That's pretty good. Good job, man. That was funny. You're listening to
tried.
Real Estate Jerky here on PowerTalk 1360 with our KFIV. Yes, in case you didn't know the calls here. With our host, Ed Parcaut, MBA veteran and president of Lending for Living. If you'd like to reach out to Ed, we are going to talk about real estate and a bunch of other stuff today. Reach out at 209-404-1915. That's 209-404-1915. Or you can email us at radio@realestatejerky.com. And yeah, thanks for those of you that have been calling in always and messaging and all that. We appreciate it a lot. And today's probably going to be full of those. So Valentine's Day. If you're Catholic, then you know these things. If you're not, then here you go. There's 3 different saints that Valentine's could be about. One in particular, my favorite, is the one that was doing marriages because Claudius, the emperor of Rome, had forbidden soldiers to marry. And so this priest was doing secret marriages. They ended up beheading him for it. And his name was Valentine.
Oh, really?
So that's one. That's my favorite. There's actually 3.
Which
Kinda
one's
cool.
Saint? Which one's Saint Marketing?
Same marketing. That would be. He would be Hall Valentinus Marcus. Yeah. Yeah.
Because a lot of people think that's all this is a marketing ploy to get you to buy flowers
Actually,
and candies and chocolates. Yeah.
No, you know what? They've been since the Middle Ages. This has been. There's different theories, but it's been since the Middle Ages. This is not news. It's one of the first like card type holidays ever. And that was back in like the 1500s. The first marketed Valentine's cards are like from the 1600s. It's crazy.
You know what happens right before Valentine's Day, right?
No, what?
Everybody breaks up.
Oh,
I know some guys who used to break up right before it so they didn't have to spend any money.
no.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm spoiled. I was spoiled. Maybe that's why I like it. Thank you.
Well, no,
Alan Champion. Alan, when I was a teenager, he sent me a dozen roses. I mean, I was a baby.
Well, that's different. He probably cared about you. I'm just saying that these people are dating who don't really care. They're going to break up because, oh my gosh, I got to spend what on this holiday?
Yeah. So flowers, all the florists have reported that their hard goods prices are up. Are you ready? A minimum of 60%.
No, I believe it. No, I believe it.
60%.
And that's before everybody tunes us off. This isn't a show about Valentine's Day. This is a show about costs. So don't turn us off. Stay here. We're going to have a bunch of stuff talking about what's going on out there in the real estate industry, cost for goods, for building, all that kind of stuff. So, I'm just putting it out there in case people are turning us off now.
Is that price gouging or are there real shortages? And we've got a secret weapon. Since you can't share about Valentine's, we have our guest as our secret weapon who keeps us in the know on the things that really are shortages. And that's in the building industry. So I'm excited to bring him on. Ed, you called in a favor to get him to come on.
Oh, did I ever? It's going to cost me a lot. So.
Because he just knows this stuff. And it's been, and we're spoiled. So we're going to spoil our audience. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not going to tell what Marsha's getting for Valentine's. No,
because she's not getting anything. So there's nothing to tell.
I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe.
No, I don't believe. We're gonna have a dinner at home, and we'll probably have steak and lobster and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. So top 5 gifts Valentine's. Do you know?
Probably Victoria's Secret, something like that.
Sleepwear is one. Yep. Actually, here's another shock. Victoria's Secret has been displaced as the #1 sleepwear women's underwear. Are you ready?
I believe it.
Been displaced by a lot. They're not even in the top 10 anymore. I was shocked.
I know.
I was shocked.
They changed their whole marketing ploy.
So. Yeah. So the #1 is Third Love. Third Love. There for a while on Sirius XM, you could hear them every commercial break. Well, maybe I was the right demo what I was listening to, but Third Love was number one. Number two was Me Undies. Number three is Quince. Number four is J. Crew, believe it or not, for women's underwear. I was surprised. And a company called Aerie. I didn't even know about them, but how often do I buy jammies?
Airy.
Yeah. Flowers are the number one thing. Spa and the spas, that's or an at-home. I don't know. How do you do this for Oh, wait. I'm not going to say that again because you're going to make fun of me. Forget it. I didn't start to say it. I didn't. Spa experience. That's one of them.
There you go.
Cooking or out to dinner. Yeah. DIY. So you're doing a DIY dinner?
That's correct.
Maybe.
Because no one makes steaks like I do. So that's the problem is when you cook real well, I do things real well because I want it to come out really well. Right. I mean, that's how I do it. Radio, we do real well on our radio. We do other stuff real well. So basically when I go out to dinner and someone cooks my steak and they don't cook it right, it's like, why do I want to have steak when I go out when I know how to cook it? I have sensors that tell me when it's done, exactly perfect timing. Let it rest and eat it.
Yeah.
Next.
I was thinking about what I want to do for dinner. I'm not sure. Hank's, maybe Food Fix or Rip and Roadhouse or
Food Fix is really good, but be careful down there because you'll go down there too much and they'll know your order when you walk in. I'm not saying anything, but they might know that.
At where? At Rippin'? Or
no,
Hank's?
At the Food Fix.
Oh, Hank. Yeah, he does.
It's walking distance from my office. So.
It's so good. It's all,
All right,
Ciao Bella's too. He's
take us
the same
to break.
way.
We're past our point.
Okay, we have to go. Oh gosh, we're talking food. Boo. Stop.
Who?
I was happy. I was happy for a minute talking about food. Hey, it seems like everything that costs more, and that's because it does. So are the things they keep telling us really true? Are there really that many shortages? Are there less cows and chickens and grain or what? Or is it a workforce issue? I mean, really, what's going on? Is it the supply side or price gouging or a little of both? Well, our next guest is going to give us another perspective from a very comprehensive industry, building and repairs. So if you have questions or comments, you need to dial our host, Ed Parcaut, at 209-404-1915 or email us at radio@realestatejerky.com. This is your chance to declare, spend, or spare when it comes to buying things right now with the inflation the way it is. So don't go away. Welcome back. I'm Marlene Champlin, sidekick to our host, Ed Parcaut, here at Real Estate Jerky on PowerTalk 1360 KFIV, where we always give you something to chew on. If you've got questions for Ed, just dial him up at 209-404-1915. That's 209-404-1915. You can text him too, or visit lendingforliving.com. Before we bring our guest on, I need to preface the interview with this. He really doesn't want your business, so we won't be giving his contact info out. And if you happen to be a building material retailer that doesn't already know our friend Mark or about Village Supply Incorporated, well, all I can say is sorry for you. No, Mark's going to kill me. Actually, he does want your business if you are a retailer. But if they're not open to the public. So, but what he does and knows is amazing. And that's actually why we've got him on today. Because it's a favor to Ed to discuss what's really going on out in the marketplace. Are the shortages real? So without further ado, our friend and decades-long member of the supply side of the building industry, Mark Henry, Vice President of Village Supply Incorporated. Welcome, Mark. Don't kill me.
No, thank you for the introduction. It's great. I appreciate it. Yeah, my name is Mark Henry, Village Supply, wholesale distribution. Crazy to think I started doing this for beer money, and 35 years later, I'm still in the industry. So I worked retail for 27 years and been in wholesale the last 8. So yeah, thank you.
Hey, Mark, thanks for coming on today. We really appreciate you coming on to kind of give the background of, so they understand what's going on out there. What's why is there really cost in the building industry changing, what that is? Because you and I talked last night a little bit before, today, and you were telling me how much certain things have gone up. But before we get into that part, I mean, everything's going up. I mean, McDonald's now is paying their people to start 16 something an hour. The minimum wage in California is going up to $15 an hour. I'm not saying that's a livable wage, but minimum wage was never supposed to be a livable wage. It was supposed to get you through high school. But that's how I look at things, but it's a little different. So how is, we keep hearing costs are up. We heard the board feet originally during the pandemic went from like $256 up to $1,200 board, 1,000 board feet. What's really going on?
Well, it's supply and demand. Basically, when the pandemic hit, everybody decided that they wanted to stay home and work on projects and stuff. And for us, I don't sell lumber. We do broker a little bit of that, but a little bit of the brokering I do, like particle board. I'll talk about that. Some particle board we did sell when the pandemic hit. Our customer was paying about $9.60 a sheet. Today, he's paying over $16 a sheet. It's basically because the main particle board mills have closed. But for us, basically it's been a lot of the issues have been the resin, silicone resin, the N95 8511s.
So because you told me that silicone you just got an increase in 70% or something like that.
We did. Yeah, we actually got an email last night, and I shared that with Ed, and it's kind of crazy because the 2020, I'm looking at from DAP that sent us an email last night. 2020 silicone metal industry sources. It takes special metals are used to make silicone. 69.3% of it comes from China. And it's sad to say only 4.3% comes from the USA. Brazil's got some, Norway, and others about 9.9. In order to get that, the silicone has to make the silicone product. So if you got a project going on, buy some silicone now, because coming up in a couple of weeks, you're going to see prices when you normally pay $4, you're going to be paying $7, $8, $9 a tube.
Wow. Because I mean, on a house, when they're building a house, how much silicone do you think they use?
Well, you use it for all your installations, all your windows. It's subfloor adhesive is another product that's hard to get right now. You cannot find subfloor adhesives. PPG is so far backed up because of the resin, trying to get the resin for the product. You're not able to get it. We get customers every day, some of the really big customers that are trying to find the product and you can't find it. We were able to secure a little bit, the smaller tubes, but you can't find any large tubes, subfloor adhesive out there. If you can, call me, I'll buy it.
So what is is that because it can't get the products from China to make it, or what is the issue?
That's a lot of the issue, trying to get the silicone to make it, and when you do get it, you're taking the POs that you've had probably from a couple of years ago, which we have some POs a couple of years ago that basically they're canceling POs. I got a PO from Rust-Oleum, which we had some POs on back order for a year and a half. They cancel our POs and we have to order fresh. But they don't have the product to do it because you got the metal cans for it. It's just trying to get the product to manufacturers. One, there's not enough manufacturers in our country. We need to get more manufacturers in our country.
Ooh, you're listening to Real Estate Jerky here on PowerTalk 1360 KFIV, and we are talking to today's guest, Mark Henry, Vice President of Village Supply Incorporated. And as we said earlier, Village Supply is not open to the public. He's strictly wholesale, but because he's such a smart guy and knows these supply side things, that's why he's on today. And we're grateful. He's helping us understand what's really going on with pricing right now and what's going on in the market. And folks, what's going to happen? So if you've got questions, please reach out to our amazing host, Ed Parcaut, at 209-404-1915. Let's get back to it. So, Mark, so I'm hearing all this stuff, resin, silicone, and it's triples, and you're telling us that's huge part of the building industry. I keep thinking, and China is the reason we don't have the supply, but wasn't this stuff originally invented and made here in the US?
Unfortunately, yes. And then basically labor costs are cheaper, unfortunately. There and the control, I just got another email from DAP. Silicone's 300% surge. So there's another price shock at the world. It's kind of crazy. It's yes. How do you get it? The highest price of silicone is 95% increased. This is crazy. It shouldn't be like that, but it's not just that. It's all products. I did an analysis because I know Marlene sent me a few things, kind of top 10 selling items. and I did it from 2020 to 2022. So I'll just address 2022. And we sell a lot of tape, believe it or not. We sell a lot of tape. We have it. We have access to it. Why? It's made in the USA. 3M products. We buy a lot of 3M products, and we have it in tape. 8511s, which is the face mask, the heavy duty face mask and stuff. We do buy a lot of that. But the price went from basically our cost about $9 up to, you're going to pay $13, $14 over just a 2-year span. Supply and demand. It's just, and believe it or not, water. We sell a lot of water. Crystal Geyser water, because people are at home, they're drinking water, construction sites, because you can't have everybody drinking out of a 5-gallon jug on a construction site. You got to have bottled water. And, it's crazy, but
that's a COVID thing.
It's a COVID thing. And also there was a shortage. Well, what was the shortage? The caps, trying to get the caps, the bottles. You can't get the caps. You got to put caps on. So we went from like a 10-day turnaround to now you're like 3 to 4 weeks for truckloads of water. And it's crazy that, it just blows my mind. It's just everything in plastic, piping, it's one of our top 10 items, and the pricing on, since when COVID, this will shock you guys, the world. I'd pay about $11,000 for a truckload of pipe. Then in 2021, I paid 42, and then I paid 58,000. So if you're a landscaper, if you're construction, you're going to be paying more. And people don't get mad at the suppliers, man. It's not their fault. They're trying to do their best they can and stuff. And the person waiting on you, be nice to them, man. It's not their fault that they're out of stock of something. Be nice to them.
So the PVC pipe you're talking about, right? That's what you're talking
Yes,
about.
sir. Yes, sir. I'm jumping around. I'm sorry.
I just want to make sure people understand. I understood, but I want to make sure our listeners understand what we're talking about. So that went. So the first from 20 to 2021, that like doubled, almost tripled, right?
Correct. Yeah, it did triple. Yeah, absolutely, it tripled.
Wow.
And then it went up another 50% then following.
Correct.
Year.
Correct.
And this is again supply and demand. So there's less supply and people are demanding it, or is it just you can't make it here in California or United States?
The PVC piping issue happened in Texas. Remember the freezing that went on in Texas, and it kind of delayed everything. That was a lot of the issue because you couldn't get pipe. I mean, and it's still an issue. They haven't really fully recovered from it. And Genova, which is a one big company, and they actually decided to go out of business. None of the family members wanted to take it over. So someone bought them out. And so then it had to go to another company. PSP bought them out. And, it's Texas. Everything's coming out of Texas, the piping and stuff. We're able to get it. We do a lot of 3 and 4 inch pipe, not really the small stuff. It's more for the foundations and for the commercial applications and stuff. But the problem was it all dates back to Texas whenever they had that freeze, and we're still trying to recover from that.
And wasn't there a glue issue because of the freeze too?
Yes.
What was that issue? Because I don't think everybody understands that.
Well, it's just you couldn't get it. The part of the problem
was it frozen or something happened?
Yeah. It was. You're right. It was frozen because of the demand or in Texas when they had it. Yeah. And
right, the ice freeze that they had.
Mother Nature. What can you do? All
right. So how do you deal with a subfloor if you can't get what you need to put it down?
Well, there is some product out there that is recommended. It's strictly if you buy a tube of caulking, you'll see it says subfloor on it. And you're supposed to use that. But now there's some product out there that liquid nails that you can use that actually says for subfloor on the documents. You just got to get the inspector to believe that and make sure that's true. You got to believe it. It says it on the tube. I know.
You can get the inspector out, right?
Yeah, that's true.
The inspector out.
That's true.
Yeah. So before we go, we got to go to break, but before we go, so what does this mean? That means less houses are going to be completed because there's less stuff to finish those houses. So that means we're not going to come out of this whole issue we have with housing right now, where we need to build 2 million homes a year for a decade to get caught up. We can't even get to 1.1 million. And if we keep having the supply side issue, we're never going to get there.
Okay. Really, really, really expensive. Everything is right now. Is it price gouging, shortages, staffing issues, and the new minimum wages in California? Or is it a little bit of all of it? Is there a way around it? Well, what can we do? Our friend and guest, Mark Henry, Vice President of Village Supply Incorporated, is a major supplier to the retailers that serve the building industry. He's going to continue to give us another perspective. So if you have questions or comments, please dial at 209-404-1915. That's 209-404-1915, or email us at radio@realestatejerky.com. The Insider's Insider, take on the economy and economic supplies. We'll be right back. This is Real Estate Jerky on PowerTalk 1360 KFIV. I'm Marlene Champlin, sidekick to our amazing host, Ed Parcaut, MBA, veteran, mortgage guru, and president of Lending for Living. Picking up where we left off with our guest, the Insider's Insider on economic supplies and what's going on, Mark Henry, vice president of Village Supply Incorporated. So Mark, it's dismal when we listen to you about, supplies, and it's, we feel like it's price gouging. Why are they doing this? Shortages. But what you're telling us is it's real. It's real. They're real. It's a combination of we've been outsourcing our manufacturing in this country for decades too. Where for building supplies? Mark, where?
Well, basically the China.
No way.
You there?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
China, there you are.
China, China, Mexico, because cost of labor is cheaper. Sad. And there are some things coming back. I mean, we are seeing some products coming back into the products, with the pandemic happening, and of course with the CDC saying, N95s are the thing to use. You got to be in N95s. One of our top selling items this year was KN95s. We sold a lot of them along with 8511s, which where's those made? China, because it's a KN it's a Chinese version, but it's what the CDC is recommending, also the 8511s. So we are seeing some of that product coming back. Gloves, as you know, nitrile gloves were almost impossible to get. We're able to get those now, but you're going to pay more for them. When you're paying $10.99 a box, you're going to be paying $22, $23 a box. The price is some of it price gouging. Some companies, yes. And I'm going to put them on the spot here. iHealth, those home kits, COVID kits. We had a customer of ours that wanted to buy some. On Monday, they were $13.98 a box for two. On Tuesday, they were $19.98 a box. After the CDC recommended you got it, home kits for everybody. How is that right? In one day, and of course there was rising costs and stuff over one day. I call it BS. But unfortunately we had to buy it. We had to take our client, we spent $10,000 on COVID kits, which is insane. Now we don't normally stock it. We had to get out and be inventive when we couldn't get products and unfortunately we had to buy products. We don't buy anything personally overseas. Our vendors do, other than Mexico, which we do buy landscaping products from.
Well, that's close.
Wow.
I know. It is close. It's a good manufacturer.
Now, is a lot of this issue because we still have the containers offshore and they can't, so what they did is instead of actually saying, oh, it's getting better there. No, what they did is they pushed them further out to sea so you couldn't see them. And then they're still trying to get them unloaded they don't have enough truckers. They don't have enough anything. So is that still part of the issue, or is it even more than that? And I know I asked two questions here and multiple. And what do you see going forward? So.
Okay. Yes, that's part of the issue. One, I would not want to live in Long Beach by the ports right now. If you've ever seen videos of that, to try and get it, it's insane. There is still, it's getting better, but as I say, they're redirecting it some of the ports to, I think, Mississippi and New Orleans, and then trying to, getting it from LA. We were in Stockton not too long ago. Unfortunately, the channel's really long, but they should use our Stockton port. Maybe it'll help us out too. Is it getting better? Yes. When is it going to get better? Man, if you had a crystal ball, you could tell me that, I don't know. I don't see it really. 2023, sad to say. I mean, here we are in February. We always pray to get better. And then we get hit things like this, 70% increase in silicone. So it's hard to call. It really is. Some products we did see a little decrease in, believe it or not, but for most products, we're getting price updates every day. And unfortunately we can't, when we hear a price update, we buy before the price update. And we spent a lot of cash, and then I panicked because I'm kind of the chief financial officer also. You're welcome, Marlene. And it's, I look and I talk with our president of the company. We have meetings weekly, and we're talking about, hey man, you're spending way too much cash, but hey, the price updates, and so we're fortunate, we're blessed, we have it. But it's ugly, but it is getting better. I mean, it is getting better. Business is great, everything is building, but the problem is that when you get to a point you need something, you don't have it.
You're listening to Real Estate Jerky. No, it's good. You're listening to Real Estate Jerky here on PowerTalk 1360 KFIV with today's guest, Mark Henry, Vice President of Village Supply Incorporated. And as we've been saying, Village Supply Incorporated is not open to the public, so we're not giving out their contact information. However, if you are a retailer of building supply products and you would like to, you definitely give Ed a call, and he'll share Mark's number. And we are happy to make that introduction that you should have had years ago. You can reach out to Ed at 209-404-1915. That's 209-404-1915, or email us at radio@realestatejerky.com, visit lendingforliving.com. And let's get back to Mark. So there's parts that are getting better. One of the things that I was curious about, Mark, as a marketing and advertising person, was there any companies out there during this pandemic that you went, wow, they did an amazing job of moving through this and really adjusted quickly, or did everybody fail?
It was a CF. Sorry. No. It was funny because I talked to one of my managers yesterday before I left last night, and I was asking him, I walked in his office and he does a lot of purchasing for us. I said, okay, all right. And he's a younger kid, he's in his mid-20s. And I said, all right, is there one company that we've dealt with the last couple of years that really jumped out at you and really was over the top? And he looked at it, he goes, no. And he couldn't, and it's sad. It's not, but for us as a company, we were one of the only few companies that still were out seeing our clients. We were literally visiting our clients. We were there. Our president of the company is on the road 95% of the time. And for us, and people remember that, and it's paying us back because they said, hey, Village Supply was there for them, again, for the retailers, because you gotta support your staff, you gotta support your customers, and you gotta help them out. You gotta find ways to buy things. I mean, there's times when I had to buy things from some of our competitors just to take care of our client, and we'll do that. We'll take a loss just to help our clients out. Not too many losses though.
Right, but that's what you do, because that's business.
Correct.
When you own a business, run a business, you do what's best for your customers, not always what's best for you. Have any of the companies that you guys dealt with moved out of from one state to Texas or somewhere else recently that you've been dealing with? Because a lot of people moved out of California. There's 1,200 people moving to Florida a day, if you can believe that.
Right.
Anybody that you know of?
All of our companies pretty much that we dealt with, the customers in the company in Mexico, we only deal with one company in Mexico. They were in Mexico. Most of the companies that we deal with are in the South. So they were there. California, we have just a couple customers we deal with there in California, but no, pretty much where we dealt with, that's where they landed. Texas is quite a bit, Nevada. We did have a couple of trucking companies that moved some offices out of California and Nevada because of the laws, but unfortunately when they come back, they still have to be CARB compliant. So,
right.
Yeah.
Wow. Just amazing what's going on out there, so. Marlene, Jeff, anything else? I'm not trying to get rid of them. I'm just saying, I want to make sure I'm including you in this besides the breaks.
Good. I mean, I'm good. I just, that thing that we'll ask on the outside, and you've been saying it, which is silicone is the latest, but I mean, are there any other products like that, Mark, that as like a kind of insider tip, like don't buy plastic or stock up on DEF or,
yeah. Well, yeah.
Fly-side tips.
And we do sell DEF, we do sell quite a bit of DEF, and it's crazy because, as you know, if you own a diesel vehicle or if you drive, fuel prices go up, fuel prices go down. Right before they go up, our reps tell us, hey, price increase, we'll buy, so no, you don't need to stock up in DEF. There's a lot of DEF out there. And it's crazy because we have a customer in Washington. Apparently not. Let me back up here real quick. He cannot find DEF anywhere. So he's having to go to Home Depot and buy it and sell it to his customers, which is crazy. So we're shipping it here from our California location. shipping him pallets of death, and he's actually saving money and able to take care of his clients. So some locations, yes. And labor market, the problem is we're fortunate for us, we're a small company, 15 employees, that we didn't have a major issue. We had one person who basically was on vacation and testing positive while he was on vacation, so he was out. We had another person who was on tested. So, but we're fortunate enough that we have people in diverse roles that can do that. A lot of our customers, we've had some customers that literally were down to 2 and 3 people in their store. They literally, because of COVID, they were wiped out. They couldn't have anything. We had other customers that literally you had to make an appointment to go buy something. Figure that out. You got to make an appointment to go buy something. Who's going to do that? I do know a local company here in town that literally was working with 3 employees. It's a family-owned company. All 3 members were the only 3 people that weren't sick, weren't COVID. Everybody was out with COVID. So it is affecting it, unfortunately, and you do try and get some good help, but then again, Mother Nature has its own way. You just got to be smart about it. You just got to, business environment. Our business environment, I don't elaborate on that. What do you want to talk about business environment? I guess
that's a note for Ed. That's not for you.
Those are my notes. But
all right.
You're answering them and just throwing them up there. I'm like,
sorry,
this is amazing. Mark's amazing. We just keep going.
Sorry, Ed.
No, it's perfect. I was like, hey, he's answering them. I don't have to ask him.
Our producer engineer, Mike Murray, who we absolutely give kudos to every time, he helps us when we go on the rabbit trail or thinks of things in a different way. And Mark, business environment, you're talking to people who are running the country, really. So it's not the politicians, it's the folks that actually build the stuff. What's the environment like as far as they're concerned? I mean, are they hopeful, or is everybody starting to be tired from this?
We're all tired from it. There's times when we're up in our office for, 8, 9 o'clock at night, trying to find product for people. As a business owner, you just get frustrated. You try and the trickle down effect, why can't you get this product? Well, if you're not in our business, you don't understand it. So, one thing I can say, if you're working on a project or there's anything you may need, buy it now. Get your product, buy the things. If not, wait. If you're going to start a major construction product, I know me and Ed's talked about this a couple of times, I'd wait a little bit. Honestly, lumber prices have dipped, but it's if you're doing a major project and you're funding it yourself, it's going to be more expensive. You're going to pay more for it. But if you're right in the middle of the project, buy the product. Get the product bought, get it purchased, have it on the ground. That way you actually know you're going to be able to finish your product because you may not be able to have it. It's kind of like, when you go to these big box stores like a Costco and you like this one barbecue grill and you want to buy it and it's not there. Well, then go to one of the local stores. They'll probably have it.
So, because what you're saying is we talked about we're building our house and you're like, just wait because the prices will come down, because it would have cost us 20% more. That's like 100, at least 100 grand to 200 grand more to build our house if we would have been building it during this whole time. And that's what you're talking about, because it's not just the silicone. The boards are cheaper, right? But then what about the glue made to make certain types of boards and certain things that you need? And there's just, a lot of different things. Metal. How's metal? Is that okay? Those prices?
No, metal's up. But real quick, on my customers' behalf, buy, build, do everything right now. Okay, to help my customers out. Okay, don't stop. Don't stop building. Don't stop buying. Okay. I was just thinking on my personal thing. Okay. All right.
No.
Anyways. Okay. All right. I just want to make sure on that. I don't want my customers all pissed off at me.
No. The problem is you need to keep going forward.
Yes,
we need to have these houses built. The problem is we're going up 20% plus a year in certain markets with house prices. It's going to get to a point where it's going to be unsustainable. Well, no, it'll get to a point where people just can't afford it anymore. Right. And that's what we're going to run into eventually. So,
yeah, metal's up like everything else. Metal, I think I've seen prices up to 30-40% on some of the metal. If you use steel studs and stuff. I'm fortunate that we built our building in 2020, finished construction in 2021. And it was about a $4.5 million project. If we would have done it today, it'd probably been more like $6 million project. So we were fortunate enough, but yeah, you got to keep going. Don't stop, keep going, keep living your lives together. Just be smart about it, honestly.
Okay.
Wow.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much. Thanks. It's not a competition until it is. So what happens when a business can't get the products they sell or install? What kind of innovation is going on out there in the building industry so companies stay in business? Our friend and guest, Mark Henry, Vice President, Village Supply Incorporated, major supplier to the retails that serve the building industry, has just given us a boatload to think about. If you have questions or comments, dial our host, Ed Parcaut, at 209-404-1915. That's 209-404-1915, or email us at radio@realestatejerky.com. Don't go away. Welcome back to Real Estate Jerky here on PowerTalk 1360 KFIV, where we always give you something to chew on. And oh boy, is there a lot right now. I'm Marlene Champlin, sidekick to our amazing host, Ed Parcaut, MBA veteran and president of Lending for Living. Ed, prices of everything are crazy, but the times are, it's not going to change. It can't. What we just heard from Mark Henry, our guest, the supply side of the building industry is up double, triple, every last thing without exception. We just heard from Mark, is the price is way up. So it isn't going to change. Building a house, buying one that exists. So what did you just tell me about that? You're busier than crazy, because all of a sudden people that they're renting, their houses are going up for sale. The landlords are selling them.
Right. They decided, hey, now is the time to sell this house because it's seller's market. They can get top dollar. They can tell people, I'm not going to do anything. Sorry, take it or leave it. And so it's a great time for them to actually sell their home. And so they are. The problem is there's still not enough of them. And as what we just found out with the building industry having issues and more expensive and takes longer to get stuff, it takes a lot longer to build the homes that we need to get caught up. And that just tells us this is going to keep going out for a while. I think I talked to you before show about certain places and increases in values and certain things, what would I say? We're up from December 2020 to December 2021, up 18.5% in value, right? That's nationwide. Each region is different, right? Arizona is up 28.4%. Can you imagine that on a $500,000 property, your house just went up 150 grand?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Florida. Oh, I think I said it during the show. They got 1,200 people moving there a day. That's a lot. That's from everywhere, not just California. That's in New York, everywhere. So they're up 27.1%. I was talking to a guy yesterday, and they bought a condo there pre-pandemic, right before, right? They Airbnb it 3 months at a time for almost $28,000 for those 3 months. They paid $350 for the place.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's, so I'm not saying it might be a little late to do that yourself, but yeah, high rises
paid for. Yeah. I mean, you can't go back. I mean, so there's no, but it's like any kind of economic,
I was just thinking, this is like we're at World War I or II, where they stopped the whole industry from using metal, right? They had to come up with plastic for things and change out. So the question is, what things are going to come out of this going forward because of the shortage that now things are being built with something else, right? Instead of what it was used to, right? That's the question. How are we going to be innovative enough to get around the subfloor issues and that kind of stuff? How do we figure those things out? One other thing I didn't say was Utah is up 25.2%. Phoenix of Arizona is up 30%, Las Vegas 24%, San Diego 22%, Miami 18%, Denver 18%, LA 14.4%. That tells you people are leaving, even though they are buying there still. Washington, DC 99.9%. So they're up, but not many people, right? Chicago 8.4%. That seems like they're in the downturn. Well, I think they need to get rid of that mayor to fix that place.
Gosh, no kidding. Yeah. So you're listening to Real Estate Jerky here on PowerTalk 1360 KFIV with our host, Ed Parcaut, MBA veteran, mortgage expert, and president of Lending for Living. If you've got questions for Ed, reach out at 209-404-1915. That's 209-404-1915, or visit lendingforliving.com. You can also email us at radio@realestatejerky.com. So Ed, getting these people into a house right now, I mean, so you get them pre-approved,
Right.
I mean, that has to happen before they can't even go look, because we're still in a complete seller's market where they better be ready to make that offer right then and there. Are you still seeing where people are offering much more than what the listing is? Yeah, that's
Yep.
still.
Yeah, it's still over. I have one right now that was a VA, and actually the value is not coming in, which kind of they figured as much as they offered over. But luckily, this guy's, when he went to, this guy was a interpreter for the U.S. forces, came to America, became a citizen, joined the military, joined our military. This is a total, I'm an immigrant and I'm going to become, so he became a citizen, joined our military, and then went overseas for war for a year. He was just, he went over there and then came back, and now he saved all his money while he was over there. He was like, I can't believe people go out and spend all their money in these areas, because it's very expensive in Afghanistan and those places with money. He just stayed on base and saved his money. So he's got a lot of money. He's a single guy too. He didn't have the family at home. So he has the extra money. And that's why I always say veterans, when they're buying a home, just because they put no money down doesn't mean they don't have the money. So he can make up the difference. And that's what he kind of figured he was going to do.
And so he's able to do that.
Yeah. And that's what you're running into. It's hard for people who have no money, who saved anything, and now their landlord says you got 60 days to move out, because the next rental place is double. Rents are going to go up every time your lease comes due, because they have to, because of the new law in California. It makes it harder. And again, as I always say, when the government gets involved to help, they usually hurt.
I went to the Republican thing the other night, and that one of the quotes they said, and who said this? And that was the Ronald Reagan saying way back when he said the top 5 scariest words: I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Yep. And you know what? What's going on right now?
What?
Yeah, it's time to go.
Oh, man.
It was a fast hour talking to Mark. I want to thank you for joining us today, and a big thank you to today's guest, Mark Henry, CFO of Village Supply Incorporated. Smart guy on the other side of the building industry, the supply side. If you missed any of today's show, you can find it via podcast, wherever you find your favorite podcast, or on the iHeart app via your mobile device. Next week, we'll have a great announcement from the Awesome Spot Playground folks, Chad Kennedy and Craig Harris. We'll continue visiting with more of our candidates for Congress, Senate, and Assembly. We're in contact with Tom McClintock, Congressional District 5, Josh Harder, Congressional District 13, Joel Campus for Assembly District 22, Heath Flora, Assembly District 9. Listen, I know one of the reasons our elections have been all over the place is for the lack of knowledge. We're changing that this year, starting with us. We will do our very best to bring now and until June 7th, who that is in your district, what branch, what it encompasses, and who is running. And like I've said before, everybody who's legitimately running in our district is welcome to come on. And if they don't, well, there must be a reason. They don't like Marlene. Please keep a cool head. Sorry, I had to do that. Please keep a cool head and be safe out there. Remember, we're proud to live in this land of opportunity where you can still build personal wealth through home ownership. We'll keep bringing you something to chew on here at Real Estate Jerky. We'll be broadcasting Saturdays at noon and Sundays at 10 a.m. Super Bowl is here. Either way, you can always find the podcast on one of your favorite podcast apps. Like I said before, just search Real Estate Jerky. See you next week, Marlene.
Wait, you didn't say go Bengals? Got to think.
No, because I don't have a dog in this.
You don't
fight,
have a dog in this fight. Well, but they've never had a Super Bowl, right? This is their first time. I think
maybe they should be a better team.
Oh man, so yes, I'll be here next week, and I say go Bengals. Oh, and Ed, hey, nice job filling in for Mike Douglas this week, and nice jacket on Fox 40 last week.
Oh, thank you. And actually, I started seeing our commercials coming. So,
Yay!
Again, my NMS license number is 23534. We'll talk to you next week.